everybody. Happy Monday. It's the Insurance Brothers from Colorado Insurance. We're doing a little different style today. We're doing a little bit of an interview style. So, of course, this is Ryan over here. I'm Andy.
What's up, guys? Happy Monday.
Yeah. It's
Nice.
National Championship Day.
Yeah, it is. I can't believe Texas Tech. Jeez.
I put them in the Final Four, but I don't know who else that I have. Doesn't really matter. I have Virginia winning it all. So
Are you bracket guy? Do you have 9 brackets? And so
I am not a fan of bracket guys. So don't be acting like your bracket's the best out there, people.
That's your terminology. I learned that from you, bracket guy.
I actually got that. Shout out to Jack Patterson, if you're listening, buddy. You taught me.
Bracket guy came from somewhere. What'd you think of that Auburn situation? The end of that.
Unfortunate, man. I hate when the refs. It's like literally the Saints all over again. Here we go.
I know. I was thinking the exact same thing. It's like, geez, every sport.
Yeah, it's too bad. Whatever. At the end of the day, you got to have control of your destiny.
The way he lunged at him on that 3-pointer, though, what's that about?
Yeah, the old leg kick.
It's easier said than done, but from my, armchair coach, checking it out from the side. Yep.
Free throws.
Yep.
Cool.
Well, let's jump into today's topic.
Absolutely. Well, I wanted to help our audience get to know us a little bit better. I want to help. We're often connecting with new people. We're wanting to expand our audience, our network. Just continuing to grow with you guys, learn from each other, bring extra value. So I wanted to ask you, Ryan, a little bit about what you've done at Colorado Insurance over the past handful of years. Talk with me a little bit about that.
I would love that. Thank you for asking. And it's really good for, our viewers and people that watch, Insurance Brothers to understand where we've come from. And it puts in perspective, why we feel we're authority figures and we can bring value to other salespeople and sales managers. So that was the idea for this topic. So look at me real quick. I won't talk too much about me, but I started at Colorado Insurance 9 years ago. No insurance experience. Obviously, growing up in the insurance business, I've been around it for a long, long time. I've been in sales, in college and beyond. I love sales. I would not choose any other industry to be in. I think most salespeople would agree. It doesn't matter what we're selling, right? It's the same thing. It's just a widget, right? Yeah. What we're selling, we make it our own. We make it unique. We figure out a marketing strategy. We brand ourselves and stick out in the market. But I started out as an agent. I was making $1,500 a month when I started, maybe less. So I know the grind. I know the struggle.
Sounds about right.
Insurance agent. Yeah. Not making much money. Did for 2 years, sold $1 million by myself in premium home and auto insurance my second year. Then I jumped into growing a sales team. I built a team of about 12 agents. Some of our top producers still currently with our company. So did that for another 3 years, then jumped into marketing, helped out with our marketing strategy with our entire company. From there, I got our Arizona brick and mortar kind of tasked to grow that. So we expanded our business model to Arizona. So I was flying down to Arizona twice a month.
Shout out to AZ. I like it.
Yeah, buddy. Networking with mortgage brokers, which is what we do best. Flying the leads back to Colorado and running a small sales team here. And then finally, I got the opportunity to start our commercial team, which was probably my favorite thing I've done so far.
Nice.
Got to build our commercial team from scratch. And we went from day one to 2 years in. We did about $6.5 million in business over those 2 year span. And so was able to create the business protection team, was able to bring in some really quality agents. And with their help, we built a nice animal. And now I'm doing our director role, focusing on California, but helping all of our directors as we take this virtual model nationwide. So that's my resume.
Yeah, you've brought up some of the, like you kind of mentioned, some of the best agents here in the country. So a lot of good experience there and really just doing it right, getting a good foundation of people and then just being that leader. You obviously had the proven track record to be the guy for it. So I can highly respect it, highly appreciate it. Even as your brother, I'm proud of you.
I appreciate you, man. Yeah. That's so nice. Yeah, thank you very much. So it's been a good run.
Cool. Yeah. And then a little bit about kind of what's your competitive advantage as being a leader? Like what do you bring to the table that's just a competitive advantage for you?
Yeah. So I always think that I've got a keen ability to take a business model that's, traditional, and I have a good way of looking at business processes of the way an industry does business and thinking outside the box on how to do things differently, right?
Fair. Yeah.
And a brand, to create a philosophy, to create systems and technologies to be better, more efficient. And yeah, for some reason, I just have a knack of being able to think outside the box with marketing. And I think that with wanting my agents to be successful, like I will go to the end of the earth for my people if they meet me halfway.
Yeah, we've seen that through and through, man. That's evident.
Yeah, so I think those two things together are my competitive advantage. Just caring, taking everybody's business personally. I want people.
One of the reasons our model is so cutting edge is just based on some of the ideas you brought to the table, whether it's new and improved CE classes for the industry, or if it's just like tactics that have never been seen before, or using tools and resources, something like a LinkedIn and technology to ultimate advantage. So.
Yeah, it's just fun to take a business that can be disrupted in a good way and to try different things to disrupt it. It's so easy to come into a business and run the status quo, do what everybody else is doing.
Right.
When you see something like that, a model where you can truly implement your ideas and strategies and be creative, it's something that is very exciting to me. I love it. So
cool. We've done a good job with it. Keep it up.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's been great.
Cool.
Any other questions here?
Yeah, no, I mean, right now we're in the process of educating others. We're in the process of ensuring that our network has value. I would just ask you, what's it going to take to kind of get further collaboration from our network? I think a lot of it's discreet. A lot of it goes behind the private messages and everything.
On low, we're like the side piece on the low. What's up with that?
Some, further engagement, because just like you, I'm sure you've seen a lot of our stuff is happening behind the scenes. I think.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know if that scared is the right word, but they don't want to reveal their own concerns with their own industry or their own self-worth, if you will. So we got to get some further collaboration. So that's not really a question, but let's chat about it. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, my thoughts on that are, look, if you're in sales, you should have a certain expectation of not only yourself, but the company that you work with. I mean, your time is valuable. You only have a certain amount of time in your career to be able to achieve what you're wanting to achieve. And if you feel in your heart of hearts that you're not in the right industry, you're not in the right business, you're not on a path to getting where you want to go, you've really got to look in your face and say, look, as uncomfortable as it may be, do I need to make a change for my family and my future? And so that's hard for me to do, and I get it. Everybody overthinks where they're at in their life professionally. I think it's easy to do so, and I think it's easy to jump ship on a whim. I always start with leadership. Look at the leadership at your company. Look at your direct first, right? Who's mentoring me? Who's managing me?
Yeah.
I hate that. Scratch that. I hate managing. Who's mentoring me? Who's my sales leader? Who's help pushing me forward? And do I believe in what that person's doing, right? Do I believe in their philosophies on a day-to-day basis? Have they made others that are farther along in the business better than I am? So I have someone to shoot for. Yeah. You can always look at the people that came before you, and that's a good indication of how that person leads, right?
That's perfect.
If you're in a business that there's not a lot of track record there, and you're feeling like, well, I don't truly believe in the leadership that I have, that's probably a good sign that you're at the wrong company or you're in the wrong industry. And it's time to look around. Doesn't mean that you have to be in a hurry to make a transition, but reach out to your network, reach out to people like us, reach out to specialists, in each field that you're thinking about, and get people's opinions. There's no better opinions than people that are in the trenches, right? So
it doesn't have to be a rut. It doesn't have to be something you feel like you're handcuffed to. There's an avenue for you. Right. You just got to find it, seek it out on your own. I mean, it just takes that extra connecting with an extra person or finding out through a message. Yep. Reach out, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, let's get you in front of the right people.
Yep, exactly. Well, let's talk about you real quick. So tell everybody what started you out with Colorado insurance
Yeah,
in your journey.
that's fair. I mean, I actually kind of stiff-armed the family business for a while, walking out of college. I did the tech startup side. I worked at a company called Weigh In for a year and a half, but ultimately wanted to help out the company.
Pays that billionaire friends, right?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, you know. No, but in all honesty, we had an opportunity at Colorado Insurance where we were starting a brand new model where we needed to provide leads and brand and recognition for our agency. And so my opportunity there was to be the marketing director for our agency, where I was out in the field all day, every day, in front of our referral partners and ones that I created from scratch, literally 8 to 10 hours a day. Generating roughly 5 to 7 leads per day, sending them into the team, making sure they were sold properly, and just really kind of coming full circle with it. So I was in front of my team of about 10 inside sales reps, providing them and feeding them throughout the day. I did that for about 4 years. Ultimately, I wanted to do something bigger and better. So that was actually a good opportunity to jump in and work collab with our current sales manager and help our inside sales team for a year and a half. And at that point, shoot, that was going really well. I mean, our team was coming, writing $1 million a month in new business premium on home and auto insurance. So things were going pretty well. I felt like that was a really good avenue. And then right now, like you and I are just out there getting this model up and running. So things are really going in a steamrolled path.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I would say your job at this company, the role that you took on is probably challenging because it's what everybody fears. It's what everybody shies away from. And it's the face-to-face marketing. It's generating relationships out of thin air and cultivating those relationships into business. And you kind of set the standard in the agency to help producers get over their own fears with strategies to go out and build their network. So talk about that. What is that like?
Yeah, it takes a certain type of person, or at least a confidence within you, to get out of your comfort zone, knock on a door of another business professional, and just reach across the table and shake their hand. Not everyone has that confidence and that really that mindset to want to do that. But if you force it, you actually get comfortable over time. I think the successes and the failures building up to getting to the point where you it's not going to matter what happens. I'm just going to keep doing it, and eventually it's inevitable. And then not forcing relationships. It's just all about getting with the people who you think you connect well with, and then doing it with a larger scale, like 10, 20 people. And then, and then, by the way, then you have too many friends, so watch out.
I know, man. And they text you, they want to hang out all the time, which is fine. It's good, No,
and I talk to a lot of them still. I mean, they turn into some quality relationships, and then leads come in the doors to this day. And I haven't done marketing like that in years. So, it's funny how it works. But really just making sure that even if I'm helping others do it, it's just a mentality thing. Like, do it consistently and have the confidence. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of our producers have you to thank for their networks. I mean, you were out for years and years, it's a tough job on a day-to-day basis, managing, 50 to 100 referral partners like that.
Honestly, that was rough. I mean, that's a 12-hour day in itself, because you're working on other people's time at that point. So you have to be available. And that's what actually we were talking about that just this morning with all of our directors. You got to stand out. We got to be different. We're not the same old insurance company, and it's just and it's regardless of what field you're in, you've got to stand out. So just be available and be able to turn around time in a very absolutely.
So you're kind of a funny case because your philosophy was always, I'm not going to get into sales. I don't want to do sales. I don't like sales. I want nothing to do with sales.
Yeah.
And in every facet of what you've done since you started is sales, right?
Yeah.
Talk to people that are afraid of sales or don't think they're going to be good at sales, or maybe they're kidding themselves and thinking they're not in sales and they really are. Like, talk to that.
Everyone I've found out is in sales. It literally doesn't matter. The clothes you put on each and every day, you're selling yourself on what you're wearing. The hairstyle that you get. If I want a beard today, if I want to shave it, every day you're selling yourself on something, and then you eventually have to take care of the sales for other people too. For me, I'm not even kidding you. It was gosh, a lack of confidence for myself, saying like, gosh, I don't know if I'm going to even be able to handle, like, I know people out there that are really good at that. That's not my personality.
Fear of failure.
Personality too.
Yeah.
Personality actually shifts over time. I think we have a cycle of what our personality actually looks like, because ultimately now that's something I'm passionate about. I'm like all about it. I like picking up phones. I like cold calling with people, and so that's interesting. I mean, yeah, I never wanted to get into it. We actually are in that position regardless of what you do. You're in a sales organization, but it doesn't matter what role you're in, man. You could be admin, HR, reception, service. It doesn't matter. You're selling something. So that's an interesting perspective. So
yeah,
it's been fun.
And Sting, in closing, what advice would you give to people that are watching this that don't have the correct guidance to go out and build a referral network, that don't have someone showing it to them? Like if you were going to be helping them now, what would you do to help them? Like,
you got to have a good foundation first and foremost. I mean, that starts with your process. Like you can't throw, for example, I would take 100 business cards and I have to lay that in a spreadsheet, know what I'm doing with those candidates. Like it's all about, you have to have a process, a foundation before you implement a specific role. Right. So you got to have build your own concepts, put a foundation and a system with that, and then get to work. So don't just go out and, randomly on a whim and just trying to figure out, I'm whatever the wind blows, it's taking me.
Right.
Have a structure. Like you're going to have your routes. You're going to have your days that you're going out. You're going to have what you're saying with each person. Like I always told people, have 2 or 3 things that you're going to say to this person so that you always have something you're going to want to work off of. So yeah, that foundation, that system and process before you do anything is vital.
Right.
So
I would definitely recommend too. I'll throw this in lastly. If you don't have the metal business cards, get the metal.
I have some somewhere.
I don't know if you have any. It's such an icebreaker when you're cold calling. If you are nervous about how to start a conversation and you first meet somebody, when you hand them the metal business card, it's an automatic conversation starter, because every that grabs it goes, oh man, these are awesome. Where did you get that?
Right. They every time.
Yeah. And so it's an automatic conversation starter. It's an automatic. So if you find yourself you have a hard time breaking the ice on new relationships, get the metal business cards anyway, because they're awesome and people keep them. They don't throw them away. Your card is always top of the stack. But if you have a hard time breaking the ice with new people, get the metal business cards. It's the perfect icebreaker.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah, it's much different from everyone else. So good work on that. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Now you know a little bit more about the Insurance Brothers, who we are. We look forward to bringing future value with our meetings, and engage with us, engage with our content. We want to hear what you guys think, what you want to hear about, because we've got a vast skill set that we've done, from marketing to sales to recruiting. And so I really think we can bring some value from the experience that we've had over the past 9-10 years.
And don't be shy. Like we're definitely not the top of the food chain. We know that. We are constantly learning and finding out what's going to be improving us as well. So trust me, we're doing this with you. This is something we're all doing together.
We're in the grinds. Wake up and grinds.
All right, man. Good stuff.
Perfect. Well, we appreciate it. We'll see you next Monday.
Yeah. All right, guys.
All right.
See ya.